Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I would like to present for final test project classroom management. But before I start the presentation, I would like you to know me. Hello, my name is Zaida Fikresniar with name 332100436. Alright, without even further ado, let's get start the presentation. This is the part 1. The topic number 1 is teaching tolerance, promoting understanding and respect in our communities. Definition of tolerance. Tolerance refers to the ability to withstand pain, hardship, or adversity. It is about having an endurance, fortitude, and stamina. Importance of tolerance. Tolerance serves as a bridge in diverse societies, fostering understanding and empathy across cultural, religious, ethnic, and ideological differences. Second is tolerance fosters respect, constructive conservation, and democratic outcomes by valuing diverse perspective and individuality. And last is tolerance is crucial for society unity as it permits coexistence within moral boundaries by acknowledging conflicting beliefs and values. The importance of teaching tolerance. First is seek diversity in your own life. As educators, we must examine our own identities and actively engage with diverse perspectives. Second is inclusive curricula and teaching strategies. Design curricula that reflect diverse cultures, histories, and experiences. Use teaching methods that encourage acceptance and combat bias. And last is promote cultural awareness. Encourage students to explore and appreciate different cultures, discuss tradition, celebration, and historical events from various backgrounds. Strategies to teaching tolerance. First is to promote diversity. Educators should learn about various cultures, histories, and experience to pass on to the student. Second, create classroom agreements with students to encourage respectful dialogue, active listening, and empathy. And last is encourage students to engage in open discussion about privilege, bias, and social issues, fostering active listening and expression of thoughts among peers. Activities to promote tolerance. First is cultural exchange programs such as pamphlets, exchange students, cultural fairs. Second is role-playing and simulations, such as understanding different perspectives through role-playing scenarios. Community service projects, such as engaging in activities that help diverse communities, and last discussion and debates, such as facilitating open conversation on tolerance-related topics. Is still part 1, but second topic is helping students handle anger, frustration, and aggression, strategies for educators and caregivers. Understanding anger, frustration, and aggression. What is anger? Anger is an impermanent emotional state triggered by disappointment and frustration. It's a negative emotion that tends to bring a person's mood down. Frustration occurs when our efforts to reach a goal are blocked. It's a feeling of tension resulting from external factors, preventing us from achieving our desired outcomes. And the last is aggression. Aggression refers to the behavior, not just an emotion. It involves actions aimed at hurting others or destroying property. Strategies for managing anger. First is walk away. When things don't get as planned and anger starts to build up, consider stepping away from the situation. Taking a break can prevent anger outbursts. Second is reflect and understand. Pause and reflect of the situation. Try to understand what triggered your anger. Third is self-talk. Use positive self-talk. Remind yourself that anger is a normal emotion and you have the power to choose how to respond. Fourth is breathe and count. Take slow deep breaths, count to 10 before reacting. This gives you time to think before acting impulsively. Fifth is keep your hand busy. Engage in physical activities, squish a stress ball, judo, or tap your finger. Six is talk to someone. Share your feelings with a friend, family member, or teacher. Talking it out can provide perspective and emotional relief. And last is consider online anger management classes. Explore online resources or classes especially designed to help manage anger. Remember, it's okay to feel angry, but learning how to handle it constructively is essential. Strategies for managing frustration. First is teach reframing. Help students change their perception of situations they typically find frustrating. Encourage them to see challenges as opportunities for growth. Second is positive visualization. Prior to a difficult activities or situation, get student in visualizing success. Positive mental imagery can reduce anxiety and frustration. Third is recognize stress signals. Teach students to recognize physical signs of stress. When they notice these signals, encourage them to take a moment to calm down. Fifth is self-talk. Introduce self-talk techniques. Students can repeat calming phrases such as I am calm or count to 10 to regain composure. Fifth is use the STAR strategy. STAR is stands for the S is stop what they are doing, T is take a deep breath, and A is a relax. Six is safe space. Create and designated area in the classroom where students can go to calm down. And last is visual reminders. Post visual cues about reframing and managing frustration. Collaborate with students to develop these reminders. Strategies for managing aggression. First is Behavior Intervention Plan or BIP. Develop an individual BIP for students exhibiting aggression. This plan applies specific strategies, consequences, and positive reinforcement to address their behavior. Second is preventive measures, norms and expectation. Establish clear norms and expectation for behavior in the classroom and reduce access to victim, arrange setting or group dynamics to minimize opportunities for aggression. Third is teach conflict resolution skill. Provide opportunities for students to learn effective conflict resolution techniques. And last is channel energy positively. Offer extracurricular activities such as sport, clubs, hobbies, where students can redirect aggressive energy. Classroom techniques and activities. First is role-playing scenarios. Practice responding to anger and frustration in a safe environment. Second is mindfulness and relaxation exercises such as meditation, guided imagery, progressive muscle relaxation, and the last is group discussion and peer support. Encourage sharing experiences and strategies among students. Creating a supportive environment such as build strong relationship, foster a sense of community, and provide access to resources. And it's still part one, disruptive behavior. The topic is disruptive behavior, understanding and managing disruptive behavior in school. What is disruptive behavior? It refers to action that impede learning and teaching within the classroom. These behaviors have the potential to escalate and spread if left unchecked. Examples include talking out of turn, excessively joking, and physical altercation. The importance of addressing disruptive behavior in school. Disruptive behavior not only affects individual learning experiences but also has broader consequences that extend beyond the classroom. When left unaddressed, disruptive behavior can hinder open discussion, diminish engagement, and disrupt the sense of community that fosters intellectual growth. Types of disruptive behavior. First is outbursts. This includes screaming or shouting during class. Second is arguing. Persistent arguments can disrupt lesson and distract others. Third is refusing to follow this direction. Students may resist instruction or refuse to comply. Fourth is using profanity. Inappropriate language disrupt the learning environment. And last is property destruction. damaging school property affects everyone. Causes of disruptive behavior: first is lack of engagement, second is seeking attention, third is academic challenges, fourth is peer pressure, fifth is social issues, sixth is impulse control difficulties, and last is limited support system. Strategies for preventing disruptive behavior is establish clear norms, set academic expectation through your syllabus, and create classroom behavioral guidelines. Outline both productive and disruptive behavior consequences and the process for addressing disruption. Verbally discuss this expectation on the first day of class. Second is model behavior. Demonstrate the types of behavior you expect from your student. Lead by example to reinforce positive conduct. Third is listen and acknowledge. Stay calm and listen to student concerns. Acknowledge their feeling as disruptive behavior often stem from stress or frustration. Fourth is address disruption directly. Be specific about the disruptive behavior and set limits. If necessary, remove the student from the class session, arrange a follow-up meeting to explore the causes and discuss appropriate behavior. And the last is seek additional resources. If the disruption persists, seek coaching or consult campus partner within student life. Alright, now we're going to continue for part 2, solving all the problems using the logical argumentation. Problem number 1, Mrs. Johnson is a fifth grade teacher who has been teaching for over 10 years. This year, she has a student named Alex who frequently displays aggressive behavior. Alex often interrupts lessons, talks back to the teacher, and sometimes even becomes physically aggressive toward his classmates. Mrs. Johnson has tried various strategies to manage Alex's behavior, such as set clear rules and consequences, positive reinforcement for good behavior, and speaking with Alex privately to understand the root of his aggression. However, despite her efforts, Alex's behavior has not improved significantly. The question is, what classroom management techniques can Mrs. Johnson implement to address Alex's aggressive behavior? Provide at least 3 specific strategies and explain how each one could help improve the situation. So my answer is, to address Alex's aggressive behavior, Mrs. Johnson can implement several classroom management techniques. Here are 3 specific strategies along with explanation of how each could help improve the situation. First is, my answer is functional behavior assessment or FBA. An FBA involves gathering data to identify the underlying causes and triggers of Alex's aggressive behavior. This includes observing Alex in different settings, interviewing teachers, parents, and Alex himself, and reviewing records. The implementation is Mrs. Johnson can collaborate with the school psychologist or a behavior specialist to conduct an FBA. This process helps in developing a tailored intervention plan that addresses specific triggers and reinforce a desired behavior. The second is social skills training and anger management programs. Teaching social skills and anger management can help Alex learn appropriate ways to express his emotions and interact with peers. This can include lesson and empathy, conflict resolution, and coping mechanism for anger. The implementation is Ms. Johnson can integrate social skills training into her daily lesson or arrange for Alex to attend session with a school counselor. Role-playing scenarios and group discussion can also be effective. And last is behavioral intervention plan or BIP with consistent monitoring and adjustment. A BIP is a detailed plan that outlines specific strategies for addressing Alex's behavior. It includes clear expectation, consistent consequences, and positive reinforcement for desired behavior. The implementation is Ms. Johnson can work with a behavior specialist to develop a to develop BIP tailored to Alex's needs. The plan should include specific goals such as reducing the number of outbursts per week and strategies like offering breaks or providing a countdown corner. Problem number two. Mr. Smith is a seventh grade math teacher who has noticed that several students in his class frequently engage in off-task behavior during lessons. These students often daydream, chat with classmates, or use their phones instead of focusing on their work. Despite Mr. Smith's attempts to redirect their attention and provide engaging activities, the problem persists. This off-task behavior is disrupting the learning environment and affecting the overall performance of the class. The question is, what strategies can Mr. Smith use to increase on-task behavior and decrease off-task behavior? Provide at least three specific strategies and explain how each one could help address the issue. My answer is to increase on-task behavior and decrease off-task behavior in his seventh grade math class, Mr. Smith can implement several strategies. Here are three specific strategies along with explanation of how each one could help address this issue. First is structure classroom management and clear expectation. Establishing clear rules, routines, and expectation helps create a structured learning environment. When students know what is expected of them and understand the consequences of task behavior, they are more likely to stay focused. The implementation is Mr. Smith can develop a set of clear classroom rules and review them regularly with his students. He can also implement a consistent routine for daily lessons, such as starting with a warm-up activity, followed up by a clear outline of the day's objectives. Second is interactive and engaging teaching methods. Using interactive and varied teaching methods can capture students' attention and make learning more engaging. When students are actively involved in the lesson, they are less likely to become distracted. The implementation is Mr. Smith can incorporate activities such as group work, hands-on project, and technology-based learning tools, for example, like educational apps or interactive whiteboards, into his lesson. He can also use techniques like think, pair, share, where students discuss problem with a partner before sharing with the class. And last is positive reinforcement and incentive programs. Positive reinforcement involves recognizing and rewarding desired behavior to encourage their recurrence. Incentive, pro- Incentive program can motivate students to stay on task by providing tangible or intangible rewards. The implementation is Mr. Smith can implement a reward system such as a point-based system where students earn points for staying on task, participating, and completing assignment. Points can be exchanged for small rewards, privileges, and recognition. Additionally, he can use verbal praise to acknowledge and reinforce on-task behavior. This is the last problem. Mrs. Brown is an 8th grade English teacher who is facing challenges with a student named Jake. Jake frequently exhibits disruptive behavior in class, such as talking out of turn, making inappropriate comments, and distracting other students. Despite Mrs. Brown's attempts to manage the behavior through verbal warnings and setting changes, Jake's behavior has not improved. This disruptive behavior is affecting the learning environment and making it difficult for other students to concentrate on their work. The question is, what specific strategies can Mrs. Brown implement to manage Jake's disruptive behavior? Provide at least three strategies and explain how each one could help address the issue. My answer is, to manage Jake's disruptive behavior in her 8th grade English class, Ms. Brown can implement several target strategies. Here are three specific strategies, along with explanation of how each one could help address the issue. First, Behavioral Intervention Plan, or BIP. A BIP is a personalized plan that outlines specific strategies and intervention tailored to address a student's destructive behavior. It involves setting clear behavior goals, implementing consistent consequences, and providing positive reinforcement. The implementation is Ms. Bond can collaborate with the school counselor or behavior specialist to develop a BIP project. This plan might include specific goals like reducing the number of outbursts per week, using a point system for positive behavior, and setting up regular check-ins to review progress. Second is positive behavior support, or PBS. PBS focus on reinforcing positive behavior rather than just punishing negative behavior. It involves recognizing and rewarding appropriate behavior to encourage its recurrence. The implementation is Ms. Brown can implement a PBS system in her classroom by identifying and acknowledging Jake's positive behavior, no matter how small. For example, she can praise Jake for raising his hands before speaking or for staying on task during an activity. She can also set up a reward system where Jake earns privilege or small rewards for consistent positive behavior. And the third is teach and practice self-regulation skills. Teaching self-regulation skills helps students manage their emotions and behavior more effectively. This includes strategies for recognizing triggers, calming techniques, and problem-solving skill. The implementation is Ms. Brown can incorporate lesson on self-regulation into her classroom routine. This might involve teaching Jack and his classmates techniques such as deeply breathing, counting to 10, or using a stress ball. She can also create a calm down corner where students can go to take a break and regulate their emotion. Alright, that's all for me. Thank you, and I hope you can get useful knowledge and helpful knowledge from this presentation. See you on the next presentation of me. Good luck and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.